Hi guys, this is Thunder E from Booredatwork and welcome to our review of the HTC Desire 816. The Desire 816 is a mid-range smartphone, and today's day and age we have very few mid-range smartphones on the market. Now this is predominantly available in the Asian market and also parts of South America and Africa, and this phone is designed for someone who's looking for some high-end feel but with that mid-range pricing. So with that being in mind, this phone retails between about 380 to about 420, and that also differs between the 3G and the 4G LTE versions. Now it's a dual SIM device. What that means is you've got two SIM cards. You can actually have two SIM cards in there and switch between the two SIM cards, so that's a nice benefit that this device has. But let's talk about some of the specs on this device. So what you're looking at is a 720p display. It's a pretty sharp display overall. It's a nice display. And actually just increase the brightness there for a sec so you guys can take a full good look at that. It's a 720p display. It's at 5.5 inches, so it's actually a much larger device than what you have with the HTC One M8. And if I put my M8 next to it, you see the size differences here. This is the M8 on my right, the Desire 816 on the left. So the M8 is actually a small device because it's 5 inches. The Desire is also of a plastic build. It's got a plastic build all around from the front and as well as the back. And the back, it's got that glossy black back finish, which I am not a fan of, and that's one of the bummers. I wish this was more of a matted finish, but it's still a nice device. Now the rear there, you see a camera, and unlike the M8, this has a 13 megapixel shooter with the LED flash, and it does take some decent pictures, and we'll get into the camera and some of the camera features, and we'll check out a camera sample. So you have that there with this device altogether. Now the battery size, I can't remember offhand, but I'll actually put that in the comments there for you. But I'll just put it this way: battery life has been great in this device. It handles very well. You can get pretty much a full day battery life with this altogether. Now over here on the right hand side, and if I can actually pop that out, there we go. So we do have our two SIM trays, SIM 1, SIM 2, and then we have an SD card slot. The SD card goes up to 128 gigabytes, but you've got 8 gigabytes of internal storage, and that's where all your cards go to. So if you want to have a dual SIM setup, you can switch your SIM cards that way. Now at the front, we have a 5 megapixel shooter, which gives you some very interesting selfies, of course. And on the right hand side, you have your power and then your volume rockers. Again, like I said, this is a much larger device, but it feels comfortable. It doesn't feel heavy. It's actually pretty light overall. You've also got your micro USB port here, and in front you have boom sound speakers. So boom sound technology has been brought to this device. Although you can see everything looks plastic and of course different in look, and we'll give you a sound of the speakers, a sample of the boom sound speakers, but you know how HTC handles all that. Now one thing I like is that the camera button is of course on the left hand side, and it's got a very thin bezel in there. Now in terms of internals, this is powered by a Snapdragon 400 processor. It's a quad-core processor in here. Now some people are probably hoping for something a little bit more extravagant, like maybe a Snapdragon 800, but it's a Snapdragon 400 processor. It's got 1.5 gigs of RAM in there, so it's that pseudo, it's almost 2 gigs or gigs of RAM situation here. Now this is running Android 4.4.2, and is also running HTC Sense 6.0. So you have that full sense feel here with this. You can go in, check out the different applications. Now since this is an international device, you do have some applications here like Webio, web chats, and then also TVB apps, in case for the Chinese market, if you will. Now let's go into some of the things you find in the notification area. It's a little different from what we have in terms of that, you've got the HTC Mini Plus showing up there. And of course, if you've updated on T-Mobile with M8, you do have the extreme power saving mode. So that's also already built into this device, which is nice. It's nice to see that this is there and you have that feature included. Now, the camera itself, this is a 13 megapixel shooter, and the camera app, thank God, is actually updated to the latest camera app here. So You have the camera settings, which you have basically just 3 settings off the bat: video, camera, and selfie. Of course, selfie is that front-facing camera right here. You can see me, hey, and you can quickly snap. Yeah, so you have that here, and then we can go back and also change that back to regular camera settings. And then you have the more camera options for the auto, ISO, UVBA, and you can also make your custom settings, and you can actually save custom camera settings right there. So that is nice. The display looks good. Even though it's a 720p display, it actually still looks very, very good. And it does a very good job in taking photos and giving you something pretty sharp. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of the camera, video, and photo samples. So I'm recording off the 13 megapixel camera of the Desire 816 from HTC. It's giving you an example of the sound and also just how well it handles. I'm by the steps here, so I'm going to walk down and then just pan around the streets so you guys get a good idea of how well it handles motion and also just picture quality. It's pretty loud this morning. It's overcast. Looks like it's going to be raining at some point. And I just wanted to give you a good idea. It's a FedEx truck down there. As presume give you about 4 seconds. We'll add some photos and then we'll continue with the full review. But you can pause while recording, stop, and all that fun stuff all together. As we back around here, and just moving into some of these flowers that we will take some photos of. So there you go. All right, so we've taken a look at that, and the camera samples look pretty nice, especially for a 13 megapixel shooter. There's no OIS built in and all that kind of stuff. So let's go ahead and just take a look at a quick video sample, and we'll play one of our videos from here, and so we can just check out some of that boom sound, if you will. We can crank up the volume. I might have an ad.
Internet of everything is giving everything a voice. Cisco, tomorrow starts here.
Microsoft tells us why buy 2 devices when you can get 1, and that's what the Surface Pro is. The Pro line has evolved from the Pro 1, 2, and eventually now the Pro 3, which is thinner, it's lighter, and it's also a bigger device overall. So let's jump in and find out how Microsoft Surface Pro 3 really handles in terms of performance, use case, and also if we just generally like it.
All right, so there you have it. You've got boom sound built in, which is nice, and it sounds very good. Not as sharp, I would say, as the M8, but good enough. Now we move down, and if actually we can go into the settings here, so we'll go in there, and you can see some of the things here. One of the key things, of course, is the dual network manager, which allows you to have both your SIMs on and one off, and check out the different, and you can actually set up a preferred data network, which one will actually turn on first, so you can actually manage your dual SIM card nature there with that. You've got media output, and then you've got more, which actually will help you go through default messages, HTC M1, and mobile network sharing. Now, portable Wi-Fi hotspot. Now, the mobile network sharing, of course, you can actually select and choose which network you want to use, because you have two SIM cards here. You can also have Bluetooth tethering, which I haven't seen in a while. Personalization, lock, security, accessibility, get contents, display, it's the boom sound. Icon there, it's already on. You can go into sound itself and see some of the other sound variations. You've got USB storage here, which basically just means the storage you have on your device and your SD cards and printing. And then we'll take a look at the version of software information. If you can see that there, we zoom in a little closer, we've got Android 4.4.2, Sense 6.0. So the latest you find from HTC is actually on this device, and that is very nice. You know, my thoughts on this device is that it's a nice device. It's solid. Solid device overall. I think, you know, they've done a very good job with it in terms of performance and use case scenario. But what I don't like is the pricing. I wish this thing was actually like 350, 380 to 400, 420 is a little bit high, but about 350, I think this device is solid. I do like it still though. My only drawback is the plastic finish at the back. I wish it wasn't glossy, it was more of a matte finish. It feels comfortable. I like the size. You know, I do like larger devices because I have big hands. But overall, the Desire 816 is a solid device. This is not something you use to push a lot of gaming because the Snapdragon 400 processor, of course, it doesn't handle gaming that well. But if you're looking for a device with dual SIM nature that has a large screen and also just handles very well with a decent camera, I think the Desire 816 actually fits that build, you know, very, very well, and a lot of people enjoy it. Great battery life, solid performance, and just pretty much all-around balanced device. Just the pricing is a little bit too high for me for what this device offers. So if you have any questions or any comments, let us know. Guys, don't forget to like this video, share this video, and favorite this video for us. And also, don't forget to subscribe to Booredatwork, top right-hand corner of the screen or in the description below. So this is Thunder E saying thank you, and always enjoy your entertainment.